Oh, buddy, welcome back. Did I change the date? I did not. Did I change anything about it? I did not. Okay, let me fill out my info here. Yeah, sorry I missed yesterday. I was trying to get my sleep schedule back on track. So it's just messed up. And it kind of worked, but now I'm going to be back off track again. Okay, there we go. Oops, I got to change that. All right. It's up on Twitter. What? I don't even know what I'm looking at. Hold on. That looks funny though. Where'd that go? What did he smell? Guess it was her armpit, but I think he just okay, it looks like her armpit. What? Jinx, I guess.
Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
What am I even looking at? What? Okay. Take that down. That's pretty funny. I mean, if you're single, dude, you just hold your freaking nose, man. I feel like maybe he realized, like, this girl's taking a picture with him or something, and he's got a girlfriend, and this is just some girl at a party or something. He's afraid he's gonna get in trouble. It can't just be that she smelled that bad. Dude, that girl is not gonna smell that bad. Maybe she's got some armpit hair. I guess I'll just go Rakan here. I can't really do Leona. I mean, you can do Leona into Nami, but
Let's dance.
I don't know. That's actually pretty funny. That's a nice change of pace from just like usually. Okay, now it's like showing weird, sexy pics. I guess that was a sexy pic too. I don't know how that's not censored. I mean, it's just like straight up. Oh, I mean, like literally straight up. Take it off. I mean, you can see it right through the shirt. Okay, this is more what I'm used to seeing on my Twitter. Just someone, like, random acts of violence. That was pretty funny, though. The bro with that face, with that girl. It's pretty funny. I'll give you that one, Twitter. You got, you know, 1 out of however many right. 1 out of 100. Okay, but I was trying to send the tweet just to announce the stream was going, but I also pulled up the changes for League of Legends patch preview. That's really the only time I ever open Twitter, typically, is just to say I'm streaming or release a video. So something channel related, or to see what the patch notes are, or like the patch preview is going to be. That's pretty much it. Man, their team is extremely annoying for Rakan. I guess I can keep, yeah, I'll keep all this. I'm halfway tempted just to rush a Mikhails against their comp, honestly. Dude, I've seen some pro players. I've never tried it in a game, but cleanse yourself with a Mikhails. Have you guys seen that? You have to time it. I don't know what the window is. I don't even know if you can do it on live servers. It's either a quarter of a second or half a second. Where you can cleanse a piece of CC off yourself with the Mikhails. If you press it within like a quarter of a second of when it's going to hit you. But that's on a 0 ping game. I can't even do, I mean, I've got 50 milliseconds right now I'm playing on, so.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
That's a little bit high. Usually I'm at like 30 something.
Feel good? Let's kick some ass.
Hope I'm not, means I'm not going to be lagging or anything. Hey, what's up, Todd? Yeah, I'm not really noticing that much, but as long as it's consistent, honestly, I can probably play with that. Wait, what's... Okay, it's acting weird. Let me lock in here. There we go.
I can't die looking this good.
Minions have spawned.
Oh, it's top Rammus against Fiora. They are cooking today.
I feel like my allies aren't recognizing how amazing my cloak is. I mean,
Okay,
seriously.
Ashe didn't take cleanse against that either. Barrier? What's Barrier gonna do? I guess, like, for an all-in, but they're gonna beat us early with all-in with a PTA on Twitch.
There's wildness in the bees and the flowers. It's just a
Oh, Ashe has PTA too, okay. Is that normal? I thought people were supposed to be taking fleet. I mean, it kind of makes sense why Twitch would do it. Wow, okay, nice. That's what we like to see.
of magic. They are scared of where I'm from.
Still at 51. I'm usually at like 37 these days. I did get to Diamond with like 105 in like Season 6. On my old... That was before... That was like my really old computer. I had a computer from 2006 to 2014. No, to 2016. Because that's when I got... I got a new computer for Total War... Or no, it was like right before. So it was 2015.
So I can burn it again.
Like November of 2015. And then I started doing the channel stuff in 2016. Like May of 2016. So that computer lasted me almost 10 years. And then the most recent one was only 2016 to 2022, I think. Was it 22 or is it 22 or 23? 22.
Don't leave nothing. Bring it all. I need to know when the action's coming.
He could loop around and gank, but I want to watch Scuttle if I can. Okay, so we're ahead on farm a little bit here. I don't want him to trigger PTA on me.
You're looking a little green.
Man, have you seen that forest over there?
Okay.
It's all filthy and dangerous. And that's why I love it.
Okay, Sej is middle.
Without wild magic, we have no children. We have no future.
Okay, so 9:30. Nice. Are we in there? Okay, I guess we gotta go one more. That fiddle be taxing. That's fine. We needed to get it pushed in. What's up, gamers? Live from a Chick-fil-A parking lot. Man, my sister-in-law and her family love that place. Okay, well, we definitely have to get mercs, no questions, this game.
Love is supposed to hurt. Ecstasy.
Got their team, like, almost every single person. Twitch is kind of whatever, it's just neutral. But, like, every other champ is, like, good against Rakan. Is that Twitch okay? I was actually, he almost got away. I held Ignite. Fiora's actually stomping that dude. Damn. That's kind of rough. Get that. Still got Ignite if I hit him with one more. Are they on drag?
They will see my dance. Then they will
Probably.
match its joy and its fury.
I'll be right around.
Executed. An ally has been slain.
Who? Oh, Twitch executed? I guess I could have ignited him. I don't think he would have gone that hard if I ignited him, though. Not even close, as the kids would say. How is Rakan even weaker after the... I don't think he is. I think it favors Rakan.
Claim it is theirs.
I don't think that, like, stuff is even weaker after Warmogs, honestly.
An ally has been slain.
We've talked about it before. I mean, I really don't think it's much of a difference at all. Like, the worst I've seen is maybe 1 out of every 3 games or something if I rush Warmogs. I have to get an extra Ruby Crystal. It's either buy an extra Ruby Crystal or wait for like 2 more waves. Because you're usually like level 9.5 or 10.
It's a revolution. And it's good time.
An ally has been slain.
They ain't ready for what I'm
It's a bad idea to do Dragon, it turns out, when you don't have Prio in mid or bottom. It's weird. I should have pinged him back.
Rampage.
Okay, I mean, Fifi's just hard dominating us Ramus right now, though. Which is pretty surprising. I guess he's just, like, that bad.
An ally has been slain.
She doesn't have her ult. He's got his flash back now, I think. It's very, very close. Pretty sure there's a ward there. I'm gonna come over here and get this ward.
I'm offended by how little attention I'm given.
I think they want it back. I got her flash for no for no reason. There was no kill threat on her, even if I charm her. But we'll take it. Okay, so her flash is like 15 minutes. Jesus, Fiora's popping. Thoughts on Aurora? I haven't seen her that often. She was pretty good, but she was fed the time that I saw her. We did end up beating her. So, I don't know. They're nerfing her next patch. I think she's got, like, mid-40s win rate or something. Did Ash Arrow also? Okay, yeah. So he just got, like, super CC'd. Not taking cleanse against Ash Fiddle is kind of nuts. Especially with a Rakan. Like, anyone hits you with CC, I'm chaining it. God, I can't believe I messed that up. Misclick. God, it sucks not having Ionians. Or like any CDR. Your ult just feels like it takes forever. Jesus, she's 7-0.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay.
When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead. True story. Yeah. I'm gonna take all they got. Flash. Throw it away.
An ally has been slain.
Ooh, almost canceled it. Okay, nice. And that's why we take the attack speed rune. Hallelujah. I feel like that was an odd back timing. I guess because they backed, but
An enemy has been slain.
I guess Ash is catching that one.
Should I be running? Yeah. I should probably be running.
I'll be right on it.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Wait, what? Why are there 4 people here? I thought Fiddle was coming.
For humans, magic is like fire.
Okay.
For us, it's water.
Actually, let me sell that, get a control ward. Like, I thought I saw someone running into our tribe bush, like Nami and Sej, but then I warded it and I didn't see anybody, so I was like, okay. I mean, I guess they're not there.
Looks like another day.
I guess Sej was behind me doing blue. So I should have warded that.
Ain't nothing I say should be taken seriously. That's why it's the truth.
Okay. Should be good. He's looking with Twitch. Guaranteed, yep. Yeah, I don't understand why Fiddle didn't go faster. It was like 5 seconds. That may have just thrown the whole game right there. I mean, dude was like right here, and then I guess he was clearing a ward or something in the brush. It's like, dude, this is Emerald. Run past the ward.
Moves right. Time to show it.
Like, they're not gonna retreat. They're not gonna see it. They're focused on us with the fight. You can't just stop in the middle of a bait like that. Just at least come out. Like, if they do run away, okay, go back and kill the ward after that. But, like, I think you gotta try it. I don't know. I'm with you. I mean, I feel like that was extremely troll. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, is there's a ward there.
Where is she? Hate it when
The fuck? Oh, God. Alright. God, I hate Twitch and solo queue so much.
call magic. We call life.
Be right under.
Let's see what's happening.
I don't know if I needed to ignite her, but I just wanted to make sure she didn't get the flash out. I don't know why we're going for Raptors over Rift, though.
Con out.
Yeah, we can't. Really? You gonna take it? No.
If it don't get out of control, it ain't hard.
Too many people. Nice. Okay, drag's up too. Oh, there you are.
I've been kicked around. I was born. It's all right. It's okay. Staying alive.
An enemy has been slain. Killing spree.
Can we do it? Eh,
I will walk
I
in.
feel like we should be able to do it, but we can't.
They will
God. Can't.
Killing spree.
Alright. I guess we'll just get a, Kales.
I have got to
An
stop.
enemy has been slain.
I'm really kind of surprised with the amount of ADC nerfs they're putting in next patch. I mean, I get it, ADCs are getting played in other roles, but I feel like that's a consequence of mages and assassins not being strong enough, rather than ADCs being too strong.
Danced upon the mountains like flames.
And AP junglers, like, compositionally wanting to run AP junglers. And just people just weren't doing it, like, for a while. Maybe it was good for a little while, and people just weren't willing to try it because it was so different, you know? Oh shit, I didn't even see that. I was tunnel visioned. Where? Oh, we need Big Mama Fifi. I thought they were just bottom. Yeah, I don't.
Universe love.
Oh my god. So much damage. We should have done it when we killed like 3 of them at Dragon. Ashe backed. I could have healed her. Yone had priority. I just heard 2 bot, and then I thought we were doing Baron. But I really don't know where Ashe went, I guess. Who just died? Oh, Ashe dies to Rammus. We need to just have Fiora just split push. Make somebody deal with her.
An enemy has been slain.
Only as wild as magic.
We, okay, I guess that worked.
An ally has been slain.
How is Rammus even in this game, man?
Because I'm free.
Who did he just kill? He killed Yone? Little doesn't have his ult back yet. Yeah, we need somebody. Instead of killing the 2 and 11 Rammus.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I mean, they're literally just running it up the middle. What the fuck? We just gave up 2 towers so we can kill Rammus?
An enemy has been slain.
I mean, I guess Fiora is gonna get an inhibitor too, probably. You gotta stop these backs.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
How did I not see her?
Turret.
Can't find Twitch. Oh, we just win. Okay, nice.
A summoner has disconnected.
Okay, I stand corrected. I guess Fiora and Yone just like rip those towers, and if they don't have Twitch, they just don't have any damage. I'm about to go full Hokage on these kids. The whole Kage. I may or may not know what Hokage is. Is that Naruto? I just looked it up. I see. Is that a correct way? Is that what the youth would say? Is that how they would use it in a sentence? Do people even talk about Naruto anymore? Is that still a thing? Ninja president. Okay. Go full ho. Let's go full ho on these kids. I need to plug this in. Hold on one second. Let me go in there and... Sound like the kids are getting rowdy. I have to go scream at them. The sequel with his son. Okay. All right, here we go. Flirt with girl, my workplace. Probably about to tell him to get off his lawn. Yeah, I see that. Della B. What's up, Black Ted? I don't know. Are you? I forgot. Are you in the United States? 'Cause I'm not sure exactly about other countries. I mean, I guess it's probably a similar vibe in many places, but I would say, I think one of the best ways is if you can get into something that is, it depends on how much time you have. It depends on your personality as far as like extroverted, introverted, type of stuff. But in general, if you can find a third space. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, hi. Okay, hang on. I guess I'll just ban Jinx.
Ah, come on. What's the worst
I
that could
closed
happen?
the door. I mean, that is a strategy. But yeah, if you can find a social third space, I think that works well. So that's basically not home, not work, where you can go do something social and meet women. Or men. I mean, you said girls, I assume you're looking for women. So, I mean, for some people, that's something like church. I met my wife at, I think dance is wonderful. If you can learn to get decent at dance, I always tell people, go to dance things. Because that's something where there's going to be a very good ratio there. Right? It's almost always more girls than guys that go to dance. And you automatically get to sort of make contact with them and kind of get in their space in a non-creepy way. Like, you're there to dance, you can talk, you're already, you've got your hands on each other's arms. It's just a nice way of familiarity. Versus if you're at a bar or something, like, you can't really get as close to people or make the rapport. It just feels kind of awkward. I guess let's do Rakan again. Okay, HK, that's Hong Kong, right? Well, it depends on who you are and what you like and things like that. I think that, feminist is such a loaded term. So I don't want to open that can of worms. I think that there is a kind of people who would label themselves as feminists that can be hostile to men, and that can be not a great experience, potentially. But there are others that, that would call themselves feminists that just want, rights. Or something, like that. But they're not necessarily hostile to men. But I think you probably mean the people that are, kind of the man-eaters, right? The man haters. Yeah. So that's just like it's a difficult term, but I think that's pretty much what you mean is someone who's going to be really kind of hostile to men. That's obviously not going to be a great thing, but yeah, I would say dance. I mean, again, I don't know what the culture's like in Hong Kong, obviously, but any sort of social thing where there's going to be a lot of girls, and where it's not going to be awkward to go up and talk to people. So I think dance is one of those, like an art class, especially if you're a little more extrovert. Now, the art class, though, I think everyone's kind of doing their own thing. I don't know. I've never actually been to an art class. But if there's something... That's another thing with dance classes is typically, at least in America, you pair up with other people. So when you learn the lesson, at least at the dance, groups that I've been a part of, there's like a beginner lesson and sometimes an intermediate lesson if you want to go for those. But you pair up with random people that are there and you rotate partners every so often. So you get to meet everybody in the class, and then it's not weird to talk to everybody in the class. And it's just kind of like socially, if someone comes up and asks you to dance, unless you have a really good reason not to do it, then it's pretty much understood that someone will dance with you. It doesn't mean they're interested in you more than just as a, dance partner for one song. But it is very, open socially to talk with people. I mean, you could go to something more explicit, like a singles group. My wife was part of a singles group when she was single, and she just moved to my town. There was a group where you signed up, and I don't know if any of them like dated each other or not, but the thing was you go out as that group and you go do fun things around the town, once a week or so. So I don't know what else they went and did, but dance was one of those things, and that's where I met him. So a singles group was just like a social group of people that are single, that are looking to meet people. So you go do like social events where you can talk to people in the group, or you can talk to people outside of the group. So if there's a social event like that, that's great. I think dance is great. If there's an art class that pairs you up with random people, that's great. Any sort of... Oh, we've got a Vagar ADC. I didn't even notice. Oh, God. Against what? Aphelios? At least he's an immobile ADC, I guess. Man, Leona's gonna light him up, though. So yeah, I think just trying to find stuff outside of work, outside of your home, where it's like people learning skills, everybody's kind of learning together, could be good. Gosh, this guy's pretty good on Aphelios for this elo bracket at least. I probably should have dodged. Isn't Kiana just like total dumpster fire right now? But again, I don't know the social customs and things like that. If people go out and do that stuff in Hong Kong or like, or what? Oh my god, dude. Dude, that guy's sidestepping my W is crazy. Nice. That's pretty good from the Viego. no, dude. No, dude.
An enemy has been slain.
I will make them dance. I will make them hear.
An enemy has been slain.
Nice. Didn't have any mana. I don't think they get him. Oh, they did. Okay, wow. Okay, I might regret it against Leona, but I'm gonna get
I
Ionians
dance because I'm free.
instead of Mercs. That was a crazy overstay on Vagar's part. Oh, and he started tier. I just noticed that. Oh my god. So he didn't even have the extra HP. It's like turbo greedy. Yeah, bar is bad. I feel bar is bad.
Magic is
'Cause it's awkward.
love is supposed
That's like the classic. It depends on the kind of bar and what's going on. I don't know. I like, it can work. People have met at a bar. I know it's what, like, all the movies and stuff, but it's just awkward because you don't have a good, like, ability to go up and talk to people. And you have to be, like, a really confident, like, outgoing person. And you probably have to be, like, very above average attractiveness, I think, for girls to entertain you at a bar, you know? I don't know your situation, but it's the same kind of people that would be successful on, like, dating apps, I would assume. It's like girls with no reason to talk to you will go out of their, well, not out of their way, you probably still have to talk to them first, but
I'm getting impatient.
yeah, dance is like, again, it depends on how they run the dance. There could be some places where you know, you're expected to bring a partner to the dance, or where the people at the dance only hang out, you know, with their own people. I'm gonna let him... Oh, shit. He wasted it. I thought he was gonna use his Q on the cannon, which is why I didn't hit it. Because I think he gets extra stacks if it's a cannon. She in that... She's gotta be in that bush, right?
I need some
Because he wouldn't step up if she wasn't in the bush. She's either that or roaming. Okay, yeah, she was. Okay, that was huge that we didn't die there. So yes, anything where you're like learning a skill with other people and you're getting an opportunity to engage with them. So dance is great, again, because you're physically like getting close to them. It's not awkward. It's like a useful skill to have too, right? If you show up, you go to a wedding or something, you can dance. Like, it's nice. Again, not a lot of guys do it. A lot of girls like it, so it has that element too. I just think that dance is perfect if you can get into it. Like, the only downside is it's obviously going to be a little awkward while you learn. If you don't have any background in dance, I was terrible when I started. So it might take a little practice, but I think that's a good bet. Probably doesn't matter which kind of dance, just anything that's social dance. I did swing dance.
humans claim
But, I mean, you could probably do ballroom, tango, salsa. Anything that's partner dance is probably good.
An enemy has been slain.
Damn, Vagar's going straight death cap. First item. You love to see it. Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing, that's right.
Name one genius that ain't crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the kind of girl you're looking for, too. I think dance... If you're looking for someone that's just, like, more traditional, looking for marriage or something like that, it feels like a religious institution would probably be the way to go if that's your thing. If you're looking for, you know, monogamy, single person, date. People will tend to be a little more promiscuous at bars, yeah, for sure. She's that way. She's that way.
An ally has been slain.
We refuse.
God, he can't. She flew right over his head. I think she had him, or at least would have gotten flash. Or he had her. I mean, she was gonna blast over the wall. I had to do something with the blast. That is a pretty nice little combo. It's very, very difficult to dodge a Rakan W inside of a Vagar
Has been slain.
E.
An ally has been slain.
If you weren't a little frightened,
Unstoppable.
Alright, let's back it up, man. Come on. You got a mana. You got your stack. I mean, Vagar's doing alright. I think he's kind of getting away with a little bit here. Some questionable back timings. You know, that kind of thing. I still got a pink ward on Dragon. It's not, like, the most useful pink ward in the world, but it's there, given some vision of River. Make your own cult. I mean, it just depends, you know, what your...
scared of darkness. They're scared of magic. They are scared of where I'm from.
Yeah, what you're looking for. I think another big thing, too, is be realistic with what your expectations are. I think too many guys get caught up in wanting the perfect girl is going to be everything. Like, she's beautiful, she's funny, she's smart,
An ally has
she's,
been
you know, industrious, she's, you know, wanting to commit,
destroyed a turret.
she's never been with another guy, never been married, no kids, all this stuff. Especially if you're dating people around your age. I don't know. In the U.S., it is extremely likely that a lot of girls that age are, if they're single, they've probably been divorced at least once. And, you know, by the time they're 40, and they probably have kids. That's not everybody. Oof, God, I was misclicking. I don't know why I couldn't get my ignite off.
The humans will never understand our kind until they hear the song.
Oh, we're just styling on these kids, huh? It's gonna be tough. Well, you have to go younger then. So, I mean, there's always a catch, right? There's never anybody that's going to be perfect. There's always a catch. But you got, I think it's easy, or it's important to remember yourself, too, that none of us are perfect. There's always a catch with us, too, right? So sometimes it's somebody, because we forget about that, someone that's willing to put up with whatever thing we do that annoys them or annoys other people or that they wish was a little bit different. You know, my wife lets me stay up playing video games. Lets me go hang out with friends. Lets me pursue a career that I enjoy but don't make any money in. Like, both of those are somewhat odd. Right? Like, because a lot of women like guys that make money and, you know, want to spend all their time with guys, right? So that's something with me, but I do, you know, I bring stuff to the table. Very social, outgoing, which is nice for her because she's very introverted. You know, keep up with myself, in pretty good shape for being older. You know, pretty, you know, intelligent in many respects. So, like, I've got stuff going for me, but I've also definitely have some major strikes against me that, like, wouldn't be cool with a lot of women. So it really just, again, depends on the kind of woman that you're looking for, and just recognizing she's not going to be perfect, except for my wife. My wife's perfect. But neither are we, and that's okay. So again, I think a lot of guys get trapped. So it's like, you know, if you want somebody that's going to be single and doesn't have kids, that's 40, you know, you're gonna have to go down the looks ladder quite a bit to find something like that, or someone who's maybe very conservative.
An enemy has been slain.
Or was bi, or something like that, and dated mostly women for their life, and that's why they don't have any kids, or have never been married, or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's going to have to be something if you don't want the marriage or the kids. At least in, like, the U.S. Again, I don't know the whole Hong Kong culture thing. Maybe they're just very, very shy. They never go out. They just work an IT job or something, and they just go home and, you know, play video games. Or read books, or hang out with their cat or something. Maybe, you know, maybe they're really introverted. Maybe they've got some anxiety stuff, you know, that they have to kind of go through. I mean, it's possible that they've dated people before, but maybe they, you know, just have some trust issues. Right? Which is why they've never been married. They just don't like to commit to stuff. So, you know, you'd be working uphill against that if you're looking for a commitment. Maybe they're at the point in their life where they're ready to commit, though. Who knows? I mean, people change. Jesus. This Viego is popping. But yeah, I think it's just being realistic about what your prospects are, and just trying to figure out, you know, what kind of stuff are you willing to deal with that's, like, not exactly perfect. And some stuff too, you know, you might think is really good that you want, when it really gets down to it, it may be something that's actually not that important, right, in the grand scheme of things. So when I was, you know, drawing up, thinking, like, who's the perfect person? You know, when I was, like, younger, I was like, okay, I want somebody that's going to be you know, a humanities person, right? Someone who's gonna, you know, love literature or philosophy,
Don't leave nothing.
and
Bring it
all that kind of stuff, right? But now, you know, after I've gone through multiple grad programs, I'm like, you know what? Maybe not. I mean, like, the girls are nice, they're okay, but, you know, there definitely can be a case of people, and I've seen this in other professions too, where it's like if both people are in the same field, sometimes it can get a little weird. Had a friend who he and his wife were both doctors. Now that was because they're both highly competitive. But the English thing, you know, I would probably disagree with some of the theories that they have. But there are also some practical considerations that, you know, I just hadn't really thought of before when I was younger, right? Like, somebody's got to make some kind of money. You don't have to have, like, super rich, right? But, like, some level of comfort, especially if you want kids. Kids are expensive, so money is a real thing. If you're in the humanities, you're probably not making money. But also, like, getting a job, like, tenure in that field is so difficult. It's really hard for one person to get a job, let alone, like, multiple jobs. And also just, like, practical skills, right? Like, I'm terrible at fixing stuff, building things. To some extent, I'm a little bit better about this day and age, but being organized and stuff like that, I'm just, like, not very good at that stuff. And my wife is good. She's good at organizing things, planning things. She's good at building stuff. So, you know, we complement each other. So that's the thing, too. They don't have to be, you know, exactly like you or... do everything exactly the way, you know, you want. You gotta, like, there might just be some things about some people that you just don't know because you haven't dated that kind of person yet. Like, I hadn't dated anybody that was actually organized before my wife. Or, you know, anyone that could actually build stuff. And it's useful. Like, she built this, you know, bookshelf all around me here. We got several of our first houses were... like either cheap or foreclosure houses and fixed up a bunch of stuff. Protect the KDA. What's up, Jason? That's right. Giving some advice to Della B. He asked about dating as a single 42-year-old. He's single and 42. So yeah, especially, I don't know how much experience you have with dating, but that is a thing where, you know, part of it is, I think you said single your whole life. I don't know if that means, like, not married or, like, never dated anybody. Again, I think just being realistic. You know, having someone with experience, honestly, like, I know you think that might be a bad thing, like, you don't want, you know, maybe you don't want girls that have been with other guys, but honestly, it could be a good thing to have somebody that kind of knows what's going on, right? That's got that confidence. If that's something that you think, we just peeling off here? Fuck. Really? He went after me? Come on, man. I mean, I guess, like, I did die, but he's not killing the Viego. Used all of his cooldowns, including his Ignite and his Smite on me. Versus the guy that's like turbo fed. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, I would say someone that's at least confident. And confident is probably going to mean experienced.
Zaya, hey.
That would be what I would think if you're, you know, kind of shy or you just don't have a lot of experience. Having someone that does have experience. I mean, girls kind of go for that a lot of times too. It's a different vibe, I guess. You know, different people like different things, right? But sometimes it's like a mystery to people. Why would a young person date sort of an older guy, right? Especially younger guys, I think, don't really understand that. Why a girl? They think it's always for the money. I mean, sometimes it is if the older guy has money. But I saw some younger girls that were dating dudes that didn't have any money. They're just old.
Dance and dance.
Has been destroyed.
There's wildness in the bees and the flowers. It's just a fury of humans.
Enemy killing.
Zone them off. Don't let them see this. But it's the confidence, like, you know, because they don't have a lot of experience. You know, sometimes dating people can be sort of awkward if you don't have experience. If neither person has experience, you're like, ugh, what do I do? Am I allowed to kiss them here? What do I, like, how do I transition from kissing to doing other things? And, how do I handle those other things? And, you know, who's picking where we go for dinner, right? And I think that's the appeal sometimes of, like, the older guy with experience is, you know, they're going to be confident. They're going to have a plan. You don't even have to, you know, try to figure out. You don't have to know necessarily what you're doing. So it's nice just saying, like, okay. It's like, where are we going to dinner tonight? And they've already got it all lined up. They've got the reservations. They've got everything done. You just get to sit there and chill, and you just go with the flow. If you don't like it, you say no, but otherwise, they're making all the decisions. And I think, you know, in your case, if you could find a girl, and again, I don't know how the culture is in Hong Kong. I'm sure there probably are girls that are kind of like that. I think someone like that, maybe not fully rolled up like that, but like somewhat, where they're going to be able to, you know, make some moves on you, or they're going to be at least like patient and understanding around awkward situations, because there's always going to be some awkward situations. So all that to say that even though, you know, on the surface it might seem like, oh, she's dated a lot of guys, that's a bad thing, right? Something like that could be a good thing in ways that you may not really think of. Or like someone who's divorced, right? It's like, oh man, they're divorced. The kid thing, if it's for financial reasons, that's obviously understandable. If you can't afford, if it's like, you know, a woman that can't support herself and her kid, and you're having to pick her up, you know, and take on a whole lot of extra money for financial reasons, yeah, that's, you know, that's rough, right? But I would just say, don't necessarily dismiss somebody who's, not that you said you would, but someone who's divorced or has kids, if they have a job and can, you know, if they're self-sustainable, if they can afford themselves and their kid, it's not going to be a huge extra burden of money, something like that. Or again, someone who may not necessarily be a supermodel, right? But they're fun. They've got a good personality. They have some of your same hobbies, right? Like they like to game or they like to do other things. Or they just have like other skills that, you know, are good. So at the end of the day, especially if you're looking for marriage, you have to understand that, that's going to be a partnership. So part of that is romantic. That's a good point too. What Blackhead's saying, they might already have grown kids if they're in their 40s, but it's a partnership, and that's different from just a girlfriend that you're dating with, because this is like, it's like a combination of, there's some romance there, but at the same time, there's just some mundane, everyday stuff that people just don't think about until you're in that situation. Who's taking out the trash? Who's going to the grocery store? Who's mowing the lawn? Who is, taking care of this chore, taking care of that chore? How are you managing the money? Right? Who, is someone spending an inappropriate amount of money? Time. That's another thing people don't think about. It depends. Do they want to spend 100% of their day with you, or are you allowed to go out with the boys sometimes? Or, how much alone time do you need? Maybe you just like to chill and just game sometimes, or, read a book or something, and they, just want to be hanging out with you all the time. Or vice versa. Maybe you want to hang out with them all the time, but they're always going out with the girls. Or, they have some kind of hobby that you don't like to do that they like to go out and do, right? Maybe they like to go out and sing karaoke 3 nights a week. Hey, thanks, Mr. Boat. And you hate karaoke. So, you just, so much of it is just about compromise and, just wanting to work well as a unit. And that's why, at least in the U.S., it's like half of all marriages fail, because it's hard, for a lot of people. There's always going to be something that's just not perfect, right? That you wish you could change. But, but I think, I think it's important to recognize there's stuff about us that they wish we could change too, that we either can't change or don't want to change, right? And so it's all about, but it's that way with anybody, right? Whether it's, a friend, a parent, or whatever, right? There's not even, doesn't even make any sense to have a quote unquote perfect person, right? Because we're all, I know I've changed as I've grown too. Again, there's stuff that I thought I wanted when I was younger that I don't want now. So what I thought, was the perfect person when I was 16 is, maybe someone that I wouldn't even want to date, depending on the situation right now. So it's, so I think, so the big takeaway is just keep an open mind. Don't immediately cast someone off just because, they've got 1 or 2 reasonable red flags. Now, if they're like, just got out of prison for murder, or, there's just like some other like major glaring flags, but, let a couple of yellow flags slide and give them a chance for a little bit. And, try to get involved in those third spaces. Like I said, get out there, dance class, art class, just something, maybe there's like a nature enthusiast class where people go hiking. Again, I don't know, or doing something with the ocean. I don't know. Just something that's not work, not home, not work. And it's just social where you can meet new people. Bodybuilding class, workout classes. I mean, that is another one actually that's decent if you go to like aerobics classes or Pilates or some of these like girl fitness classes. I feel like it is, those usually aren't designed to be as social. Maybe they changed it, but it could come off. It always feels a little creepy if you try to hit on somebody at a gym. Okay, Delaby. Well, sometimes you just gotta keep working. Just put yourself out there. One thing to keep in mind, and there's a lot of different ways to say this, you miss every shot you don't take, that kind of thing. But just get used to rejection, right? It's like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. If you ask somebody and they say no or it doesn't work out, who cares? Like, that's what would have happened anyways. If you say nothing, it's a no. You just don't hear it, but it's the same thing. It's a no. Every question you don't ask, you know, the answer's no. So, you know, you might as well just ask. But yeah, I think putting yourself in social situations where you can meet new people is good. You could try to have friends set you up, friends or maybe family, depending on like the situation. That's got to be it for me for the games tonight, unfortunately. My sleep schedule is a little messed up. I do have to get up in the morning, and I still have to get one more little workout in that I didn't get in earlier. Yeah, I mean, obviously if it's just out of nowhere, right? If it's just someone walking down the, you know, the sidewalk, maybe that doesn't work. Like, hey, can I get your number, right? But just put yourself in situations where you're going to be meeting new people and just try to socialize them. And if you're having a good conversation, you know, just ask them out for coffee or dinner, you know, whatever the vibe is. Ask them to do something fun. Say, hey, such and such. That's another reason if you go to these art classes or dance or whatever, you kind of get to know people, you get good at whatever it is, you can invite them to go do that thing. Hey, you want to come swing dancing on Wednesday? It's a lot of fun. We can grab some dinner first. Right? And then that way, they're on your turf. So then you're going to be confident. You're going to be good at whatever it is that's going on. So that's going to, you know, help your rapport. And, you know, they get to go do something fun with you. Right? Like, hey, I go on this, I'm part of this hiking group. We go every other weekend and, you know, climb this mountain. You should go with us. It'll be really fun. Or whatever it is. So if you have time, just try to join these groups. If there are, I'm sure they have stuff like that in Hong Kong. But it's like these social groups where you just go out, you get to meet new people. Ideally, if it has a good, you know, female ratio. But yeah, go out, you know, if it is something that's like a bodybuilding club or something, that's probably going to be a lot of guys, or like a sports club or something. But video game club. But just get out there and, you know, meet new people. I think that's the biggest thing. You know, one thing also that's a little bit more of an advanced strategy that you don't necessarily have to do, that I tried a little bit when I was single, is you don't have to go for every single girl as a primary person you might date. Just have friends that are girls also that you can just talk to. Right? Because they're going to have friends that are girls. So, you know, if you can make 5 friends that are girls and each one of them has 5 friends, that's 25, you know, people that you could potentially meet. So if you just try to go for those initial 5 and it doesn't work out, then it's going to be awkward and you're not going to, you know, get a look at the other 20. So just having some friends that are girls and then having them, you know, if you have a good rapport with them, maybe they'll set you up with somebody that they know. So that could be good too. So you don't have to go for everybody as the primary target every time. Just build a network of friends. You have a good time. You chill. They can even give you some advice. Hey, why don't you, you know, you look good in this color. Why don't you wear this shirt? Or, hey, why don't you try these shoes out? I think those are really in fashion right now. Or something like that. Or give you some advice about dates. I mean, just having girls that are friends kind of in your network is a good thing. So, I did that when I was working in a restaurant. I would just kind of befriend some of the hostesses and servers and things like that. And it never really amounted to a ton. But I did meet a lot of friends, and I had fun along the way. You know, I met my wife just at that dance thing. But just go out and do stuff. Actually, the way that I met my wife was like so convoluted. I can share that with you guys really quickly. But that's just kind of going back to take advantage of opportunities. If friends are asking you to go do things, or you have opportunities to get out of your routine and just go do random stuff where you could meet people, good things could happen, right? And so I was, I was about 24, and I think I was a senior in college. I was either a senior or I had just graduated. I think I'd maybe already I just graduated, I think half a semester earlier, and my friend was in from out of town. He lived in a different state in North Carolina, and this was going to be one of his last nights in town, and I just got out of the restaurant. It was going to be like midnight, and I was like, man, I'm really tired. I just don't even feel like doing anything. And he was like, dude, come out to this house party. These people brew their own beer, and it'll be fun to hang out or whatever. So I was like, okay, I guess. I was like, you know what? I need to go do it. You know, Joey's not in town very often. Okay. So I went out to this party. I don't even really like beer that much. So I think I brought some wine or something in a brown bag, you know, to not look too bougie. But I bought some cheap wine in a brown bag and was drinking out of the bottle. And there was a girl there, and I was talking to her. You know, there were a lot of girls there. And I was talking to him. This one girl was kind of cute. She's flirting with me a little bit. So I was like, okay, cool. And then we were just talking, and she said, what year are you? No, I was a senior, I think, at the time. I either said I just graduated or I was a senior. I can't remember the exact timeline. And then she was like, okay, cool. I was like, well, what year are you? And brown bag wine. It was a bottle that I put in the bag, but anyways, and she was just like, I'm a junior. And so I said, okay, cool, what's your major? She said, I'm a junior in high school. And I was like, whoa. Because it was like 2 or 3 a.m. on a Wednesday when school was like in. So I was like, what are you doing at a college house party on a Wednesday? But, I mean, she sounded interesting, so okay, obviously can't date her. But we went to IHOP, I think, and kept talking, and she was all about this philosophy and all this stuff. So I was like, okay. And then she friended me on Facebook, and she, you know, I was reading some of her poetry and stuff like that. And so it was just kind of like this friendship going on. And I commented on some of her poetry, because as someone who thought I was an aspiring writer at the time, I was like, oh, I can talk with this other writer, and it'll be cool. And so then I was like commenting on her wall at the time. Facebook was a very different place back then. It felt a lot more social, but anyways, so this girl's best friend's older sister, who was 20, saw some of my comments on this poetry, and then she asked, will you comment on some of my poems? And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, sure. And this girl went to Indiana, so I was like, okay, well, there's no way I'm ever going to meet her, but sure, whatever. I commented on some stuff. And then she was actually from the town that I was in. And then she moved back here the following semester. Not because of me, but just, you know, I only commented on her poems a couple of times, so it wasn't like that, you know, impactful in her life. But just some stuff happened at the college where she was at. She just wasn't happy, so she just kind of wanted to return home, transfer to our university, or to like the local university, you know, save some money, be closer to her friends and family and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool. So she moves back into town. And then I asked her if she wanted to come out one night for some drinks. And I was like, okay. And I mean, that was sort of a weird relationship for a while. So I did end up dating her for a little bit. But that first night, she went out with a bunch of my friends and I. And it was like 4 a.m. or something. And she's like, hey, you want to go get something to eat? And I was like, kind of drunk, and I was like, okay, sure, you want to do like IHOP or something? And she was like, actually, I was thinking we could get like a pizza or something at my place. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And so we went back to her place, And then she like made a pizza, and we were watching some like 1950s French circus film, and I was just like, what is happening? I was like, this is not what I expected, but okay, I'm with it. And so we just ate pizza and watched this weird like circus film. She wanted to be in a circus. She like rode a unicycle around campus, played the accordion. It was really weird, but I like weird stuff. What can I say? So anyways, I dated that girl for a little bit. She got me into swing dancing, and she and I didn't work out. But then I was like, swing dancing thing's pretty cool. I don't know if she could do them both at the same time. She did them separately, but I don't know if she could do them at the same time. And so I just stayed with the swing dancing, tried to get really good at it, and then, maybe 6 months later or so, my wife just moves to town. She's part of that singles group. She goes out to dance, and then all of a sudden, I'm at this dance, and I've been practicing, and I'm like a pretty decent dancer at the time. And eventually, we end up dating. Sometimes you got to be a little persistent too. You can't be creepy, but she told me, we went out on like a couple of really casual dates, and she was just like, well, I'm kind of getting out of a relationship. I'm not really looking to date somebody right now. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But you still want to go out to eat? Because we were, supposedly going to go out to eat and then go dance or something. And she was like, yeah, okay. And she shows up, and I had looked at her profile at the time, and a lot of guys that, were her friends or people she dated, I didn't really know, on Facebook. So she'd friended me on Facebook. I'm like, none of these guys have any facial hair. And I had a goatee at the time, so I shaved off the goatee. And then when she came out, we hit it off over dinner, went out dancing, and then she decided she did want to date me after that. And she told me, I don't remember how much later, but she was like, I decided to give you a chance because you shaved off the goatee. She's like, I thought you looked a lot better without the facial hair. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I mean, several morals of the story there, right? Go out, do stuff, right? If it's something to break out of your routine, if you're going to socialize and meet new people, just do it. Most of the time, if I had not gone out with Joey that one night when he was in town, because I got off work and I was really tired, if I hadn't gone out to that social event, I would have never met my wife. Now, would I have met somebody else eventually? Who knows? We don't know. But I, probably would not have met my wife. But a lot of that stuff had to happen, right? If I didn't go out to that event, if I just kind of immediately dismissed the high school girl, if I was like, well, I can't date you because I don't want to go to prison. But if I had just been like, well, I can't date you, so therefore I'm not going to talk to you anymore, this like interesting person, if I hadn't just been cool with like friend zoning, then I also would not have met my wife. And then, through this other girl that I dated, I went to dance. If I hadn't just kept going to dance or whatever, if I'd been like, oh, boo-hoo, I broke up with this girl, I might see her out at dance every now and then. It's going to be awkward, so I'm not going to go anymore. If I stopped going, I would not have met my wife. So if I had given up when my wife said she wasn't looking to date anybody, if I would have just been like, oh, okay, well, never mind, then I would not have ended up with her, right? But I was just a little persistent, not in a creepy way. I was like, all right, well, you want to just go out for dinner then? You still want to go to dinner? And part of me was like, she might change her mind. Part of me was also like, she seems interesting. I could just, have a friend, hang out, or whatever. And then part of me was like, maybe she got some key friends. So, there's a lot of stuff going on there. So it's just kind of being resilient, going out and doing things and just being resilient, right? If it's not exactly what you thought, if they happen to be a minor, in the case of the girl at the party, if they happen to be a little crazy in the case of the circus girl, if they happen to be just getting out of a relationship in the case of, my wife, sometimes you just gotta, work around stuff. But anyways, I don't even know if Delaby's even here anymore. We've got like 5 people in here. But Circus Girl was interesting. That was one where fun to date for a while, but would have been a terrible life partner for me. Anyways, she was just way too volatile emotionally. Okay, cool. Way too volatile emotionally. That doesn't mean she's a bad person or whatever, but we just got on each other's nerves. Yeah, no problem, Delaby. And that's fine. I mean, some people are fun to date. Some people are good friends. Some people are good life partners. So, there's all kinds of different people that can play different roles in our lives. Right? And that's okay. That's what I've come to realize as I've been older. So that's fine. Because I used to just think, hey, I'm going to date, and if this is not going to end in marriage and forever, we're married for 60 years, then, there's no point in doing that. Like, I'm not interested, right? Where it's like, I mean, that worked out for the most part. But I think it was really the Circus Girl where I was like, just irrationally into her for a while. And then it just kind of broke me where I was just like, kind of broke me out of this romantic, chivalrous sort of thing where I was just a little bit more chill with just kind of go with the flow sort of thing. And once I realized that, then that was when I was able to kind of manage the situation. Because before, I would have been really upset if she was like, hey, I'm not looking to date anybody right now. I'm just getting out of a relationship. Or I probably would have just, been really sad for a while and just said, okay. And then I would have just been like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm worthless, or, I would have just come up with all these excuses and negativity and all this stuff instead of having the confidence to just say, hey, okay, let's still just go to dinner. Right? So, and it'll especially if you don't have a lot of experience, it might just take some time to figure that kind of stuff out. Again, to figure out what you like or what works for you, right? Again, that might be different from what you think works for you. So, anyways, I gotta get out of here though. It's fun talking with you guys. Always fun sharing some old man stories. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit. You'll have to keep us posted, if you run into some interesting situations. But yeah, I think doing stuff where you're going to get to meet people socially, if you see opportunities to try to flirt with people, that's great. But keep in mind, friendships are good too, because you just get good life experiences that way, but also that allows you to network potentially as well. And sometimes people think, oh, because I'm such a strategic person and kind of how I think critically and how I communicate and all of that. And it's like, being strategic and having multiple objectives, like, that doesn't necessarily mean manipulation or bad, right? So just because you're recognizing, hey, this person, could be a good networking opportunity, doesn't mean that you are discounting their friendship too. I think that sometimes people think that if you're thinking strategically or communicating strategically, that you're necessarily like an immoral person, you're manipulating people, and a bunch of people try to set up these either ors. It's got to be either all-in, genuine connection with no ulterior motives, or it's ulterior motives and manipulation, right? Where it's like, why can't it be both, right? I mean, it could be 3 things. Like I said about my wife, it could be, okay, just friendship, interesting person. Could be, okay, they might change their mind at some point. People change their minds about things all the time. Or could be, hey, networking opportunity. So it could be all 3 of those things at once. They're not necessarily mutually exclusive. So I think that sometimes people get caught up in this binary way of thinking where it's like it's either or when it can be both and more, right? Potentially. But anyways, okay. Well, that's it. Thank y'all very much. Sorry I couldn't stream more tonight. I guess with the amount I talked, I maybe could have snuck in one more game. But I do have to get out of here. I still have to get in one more super quick workout. And then I got to go to sleep, get up, take the kids to school, and all that stuff. But anyways, okay. Well, that's it. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And we'll see you next time.